This is my view from my front porch. Oh, I just love it so much. So peaceful. I love being above the city. So I just got off the phone with a powerful priestess who has been coming to terms with her higher sense perception, recognizing for herself that her insights, her messages, and her telepathic abilities are real, and they're unusual compared to her family, her brethren, the people in her neighborhood, or her circle of friends, whatever. And it's been a few months of this recognition and coming to new, clearer awareness of the codex, the vocabulary that these messages send to her. And why I'm on here is because here is yet another instance of a woman operating with one arm behind her back, fitting herself into her circumstances versus changing her circumstances to fit who she is, to fit the bigness of who she is. This is the, I don't want to say plague, but this is the training that many of us women have grown up under, which is fit yourself into your circumstances. Don't try and change your circumstances. Don't tip over the apple cart. Don't cause a disturbance in order to make room for yourself. Fit yourself in. Crinkle up your wings into this tiny little box, right? And everyone's circumstances are different. Sometimes it looks like self-doubt and the absolute worst case scenario being shame and humiliation, right? That is what shrouds you and keeps you small. For others, it's not being safe, being unloved and abandoned by your partner or your family. There are so many versions of this, right? And it all boils down to us being rejected and alone and not surviving. There isn't much else to say here, but simply that we get to choose the circumstances. We get to change our circumstances. You, as a human being, come with the right and the capability to mold your circumstances to fit your highest desires and your highest potentials, because you came with those high potentials intact, right? And you're developing them, and effectively you're spreading those wings as those potentials develop, right? Why shouldn't your circumstances fit to accommodate your wingspan, right? Versus slipping yourself in under the time constraints that you have when you've got just a little bit of free time to meditate and do your spiritual practice, right? No, get in there and let your full claircognizance develop. Let it develop. Make space for that. Make space for it. It is yours, and you have something really, 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 really valuable for the people in your circle of access. People online, people you interact with, people you don't even know who you interact with at the grocery store, etc. Like, you are having an impact on them. You radiate a frequency with your smile and your eye contact. And it might be different tomorrow when your skills have developed and your strengths have developed more so than they were yesterday. Know that about yourself, and know that when you are not fully formed, so to speak, if we're all shrouded in a cloaked or tiny fragmented version of ourselves, We're not at full mast, we're not at full capacity, and our lights are dimmer and our impact is much, much weaker. And that's not an accident. Something else is taking up that bandwidth that we aren't taking up. Something else is filling up those airwaves that we aren't utilizing. And if this is happening across the board for women, not every single woman, but more so than not, let's get out there. There's a huge portion of the feminine frequency that's missing. Stand in who you are. Do what it takes. Link arms with the women who are in your corner, who are rooting for you. And often that's not going to be your best friend, and it's not going to be your mother, and it's not going to be the people you grew up with. So this is a great time for me to say that I am currently partnering with Amy Belair to create a mastermind and a mentorship offering. And it is by way of invitation after you step forward and say, okay, I'd like to be, considered for this group. We will be walking each other through 2022. We will have a flexible but structured curriculum that is really going to be interactive and all about enhancing your presence as a bridge between cosmos and the human earth experience. There's so much more. If you're interested, shoot me a DM with your email and I will send you the details. And if the details look good, the next step is for us to have a conversation and see if this is a fit for you and see how we can serve you. With love.